where everybody expects you to win. I don't know, is it something that are you just very good at kind of making sure that you don't know that everybody expects you to win, or does that matter? Does it add extra pressure that there's a weight of expectation?
Well, you're going to know, you know what I mean? If people are, like my next opponent, people are writing this guy off, you know, he's a tough English man. A lot of people are writing him off already, you know, so I don't really play into that, you know what I mean? Just, again, focus on your training, focus on what you've been doing in the gym or on the pitch, so to speak, you know what I mean? So just don't believe your own hype, you know what I mean? Go out, keep calm, and the performance will come, you know what I mean?
You've obviously got a special relationship with your coach.
Yeah.
Like he's considered to be the guru of the sport in Ireland, really.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about him?
Yeah, man, I've been with John since day one, you know, with my coach, and he's a genius when it comes to this thing, when it comes to unarmed combat. You know, you wouldn't know looking at him, he's a small guy, you know what I mean, but he'd tie you up in a ball, and he knows the human frame like no other, you know what I mean? So, but again, he builds my confidence up and makes me feel like I'm better than, makes you feel like you're better than you are, you know, and without me actually knowing, you know, that he's actually trying to do that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, not too forward, like, but building up your confidence on a subliminal level, nearly, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's what.
John always put it to me is that we can change this, and do something that people haven't seen before. You know what I mean?
Talent. He wasn't necessarily more talented than anybody else, and I trained some pretty high-level athletes before I met Conor as well. But what made him a little bit different was I could see right from the beginning he was very curious about how jiu-jitsu worked and how martial arts worked. Whereas some guys might come in and they'll train hard when they're in the gym, and then they kind of switch off, go home and do other stuff. I could see Conor was pretty early on fairly obsessive. He would be always thinking about it outside of training, and when he came into training he always had kind of interesting questions, or he was always questioning what I would show him, and he'd maybe come up with his own way of doing things. So as a coach I've noticed that over the years that the guys who tend to get better quicker are ones that are thinking about it a lot more.
I knew growing up and all, when I was really young, it was always something I thought about, you know what I mean? I had some situations where people would say something or something would happen, you know what I mean? And I might, you know what I mean? I felt like I needed to be able to defend myself, you know what I mean? You know, if you're walking down the street and something happens, and someone starts something, you know what I mean? I walk by a group of people and they're saying something, and things like that happened a few times, you know what I mean? And I said, right, yes, I'm going to go and train. If anyone says that to me, then they're going to know about it, you know what I mean? That's how I started. I remember walking back from school, walked by a load of blokes, some load of youngsters, and I was just on my own, little kid, my school bag on. And he started saying something or whatever, and I just turned away, and then he came running at me, and I just ran off. There was about 6 of them. So instead of going and bringing my school bags, I emptied out all my school bags, and I had like a dumbbell, you know, a weight off a dumbbell. And I took that out, took the weights off the dumbbell, and I just stuck the dumbbell in my bag, and I always used to walk home with the bag a little bit open, ready to go. In case I was just walking to school with no school books, and no nothing, and then walking home and nothing. Just walking in with that little barbell. And I used to have a little joke, and I'd plan what would happen if I came across, or if something happened, you know what I mean? I had a little routine. Like even there used to be a punch bag at the back, and instead of going out and punching it, I used to go out and hit it with the barbell. Just like that, because I knew it was a big solid steel bar. I just wanted to hit them enough so I could get away and get myself to safety. I just got into it, not really, I didn't care about sport. Like, I don't care about sport fighting, I still really don't. I didn't get in it to be the All-Ireland champion or the world champion. I didn't get in it, I just got in it so people would say, right, this guy can do this, or this guy does a bit of training, or does something, we'll just watch him, or we'll just leave him alone. That was how I started doing it. And then, turns out, I was good at it, you know what I mean? And that's it, I just got lost in it then, and it became more than just that. I met Tom Egan, who was the first Irish guy in the UFC 93 when they came to Dublin. He used to teach me how to grapple, I used to teach him how to box, and we'd have a little scrap at the end of it. And then we were doing that for a while. I'd stay up here from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then come home. And then we found out he knew about John's, or had heard about John Kavanagh's straight back gym, and you can go and actually train properly in a gym, like not just in a shed, which is what we were doing.
Yeah, Conor, like at the beginning he went through a really good spell. He was competing well, he was training hard. And then I guess to get into those kind of late teens problem years, when he was 18, 19, 20, and maybe he went a little bit off-road, and we kind of missed him for about a year in the gym.
And that's it, I just was in and out of the gym, and I'd come, I'd fight, then I'd off for 2 months, then I go back, you know what I mean? That was the kind of relationship I had. And then one time, my first loss, he put me as the headline of one of the shows, John did. Everyone would kind of hear that I was doing this new thing, this cage where you can kick and do magic. I mean, that was kind of, so a lot of people come out to see me, and I don't know, I felt a lot of pressure, and it was funny because where my mind was then, and I was kind of like anticipating a loss, you know what I mean? You nearly know when, you nearly tell yourself if you're going to win or lose, and these are the first time, but things, those losses kind of helped me realise about the mental side of things, and how, compared to what way I am now, compared to what way I am there. Like anyway, I ended up losing that fight. It was like my fourth, I think it was 3-0, I went to 3-1 then. And then I don't know, I had tickets to sell as well. Another way you sell tickets for the show, and it was my coach. But I was getting tickets at 30 euro for a ticket, and I was selling them to all my friends, and they were just coming at, I was getting 30 quid here, and then 3 hours later I was getting another 30 quid. So I was kind of dipping and dabbing into it, you know what I mean? So before I knew it, it was like 600 quid that was gone. and I was like, right, I'm just not going to go back. I don't know, I was just young and stupid basically, and then a while went by, and then Tom got the contract then, and John had heard that I was getting into a lot of trouble, which I was out doing no good, you know what I mean? I wasn't doing anything productive, and the next thing I know, I'm sitting in my house, depressed down my head one night after being out on a weekend partying and doing all sorts of shit, and John shows up at my front door.
It was actually a phone call from his mother that prompted me to call up to his house, and she rang me and asked would I have a word with him and tried to get him back training. So I called up, and we had a very frank discussion. You know, I just told him I thought he was throwing away a lot of ability and a lot of promise, and just basically wasting it, hanging out with friends that were maybe not really good friends to be hanging out with. And in fairness, he took it to heart, and that was, I guess, one of the big turning points in Conor's career, because he came back with a vengeance. He really came back full on in training, and he took that second opportunity by the horns, and since then I'm basically trying to kick him out of the gym. Like when I get him in here, that's it, he's here for the day, and he trains harder than pretty much anybody in the gym. He's one of the hardest workers. So I guess that was one of his. That was a big turning point for him, and it was kind of a nice thing that I remember at his when he won his first Cage Warriors world title. His mother was at it, and when I was walking out of the cage, she kind of grabbed me and stopped me and said, "Do you remember that day? I got you to come up to the house to talk to him." I suppose it's a bit like a movie moment. She was a bit teary, and it was kind of a nice happy ending to the story. I should say happy beginning, because I really feel Conor's only kind of starting to fulfill his ability, and I hope that she's there when he wins his UFC belt, and we can kind of smile and look back on those days.
And that was him reaching out to me, so I wasn't gonna just f off again. You know what I mean? And I still had troubles in and out and all, but I stuck with it, and it made me and John closer, you know what I mean? And now here we are. Now I'm going to go out and represent his gym and him. And like I said I would when he came up and helped me out. I told him I had the ability to get here. I told him I believed in myself, you know what I mean? And he believed in me, and that belief he had in me made me feel like I was better than I probably was at the time, you know what I mean? And then that was it, we just go from there. The bond has grown, and now here we are, and it's perfect timing for this. Yeah, man, Gunny's been an inspiration, you know, he's been an inspiration to all of us, the way he approaches things. And I've definitely taken a lot from Gunny, you know what I mean? Getting to train with him has been great. We're different, but we're not different, you know what I mean? There's a lot of similarities as well. I've definitely taken a lot from him, and we definitely, when we're around each other, we always bounce back and forth with things and be talking about stuff. And, like, And seeing his success, you know what I mean, I could see myself in there as well, you know what I mean, before. But again, it's like everyone saw where he was going. Everyone saw where I was going.
I think what Conor's going to bring a little bit different to MMA that people haven't seen before. And I would say the same with his teammate Gunnar Nelson, is that they're both obsessive about improving their skill set. There does seem to be a trend in mixed martial arts to get to a pretty good level, striking and grappling. And then when you're at that level, stop learning. And instead just focus on like sparring and fighting really, really hard, lifting loads of weights and taking supplements and just trying to get bigger and stronger and faster.
Where's the team? Bye! 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 All day! Bye! 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 Bye!
Rotate now. Good. 2. Beautiful. Lock it out, rotate out. Only one.
That made the cut, you know, only a select few people made the cut, and I'm honoured that they chose me, so it's a dream come true.
We're here today for EA Sports UFC, which is just launched on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and I'd like to know if you had a chance to have a go yourself, and are you happy with the representation of you in the game?
Yeah, I've played the game. It is an unbelievable game. It's actually a little bit scary looking at it, how accurate it is and how much detail has been put into it. But yeah, it's a phenomenal game.
They got the beard, they got the physics of the beard right as well.
I think they done me a few favors on the beard. I think the beard in the game looks a little bit better than my beard. I'm a bit jealous of it, but it's unbelievable, the accuracy of it, and even the moves and everything is just correct as you'd expect from EA Sports.
So today I had my first ever MMA session. I've been a fan of the sport but never tried it before. Right. And what I'd like to know is, do you remember your first experience in MMA? And if so, could you tell us anything about it?
Yeah, well, see, it's different now the way it is now. You know, now here at SPG we have like a program to bring people who have had no experience whatsoever, to bring them through levels, through stages, to get them to a high level. Before, when I was starting out, it wasn't really like that. You know, we just kind of go from gym to gym. I learned how to box, learned how to kickbox, and then I came here to SPG, started learning how to grapple. But my first experience with MMA, I remember I came in and I was a little I used to box, I used to kickbox, used to think I knew what I could do. I used to think I could fight. And then I get guys like even smaller than I was, you know what I mean, choking me out and whooping my ass. So my first experience definitely opened my eyes that there's more to fighting than just punching and kicking. You know, there's a lot more to it to be truly able to be truly considered a good fight. For me, what's considered, you know, to be considered a good fighter, if you're single in your discipline, if you can only box, if you can only kick, if you can only, to me, you're not there yet. You know, there's still a long way to go. And my first experience opened my eyes to that just because I can box or just because I can kick does not mean I can fight. You know, I'm still a long way ahead.
So we've almost 2 weeks to go now to the big event, and just want to try and get an idea of what's going on inside Conor McGregor's head in the final run into something that you've been preparing for so long.
There's nothing going on in my head. I'm just keeping calm. Right now, what's going on in my head is just my weight. I need to bring my weight down now. 2 weeks out, I'm starting to trim down as much as I can and get it down. But there's nothing really going on in my head. I'm just keeping calm, keeping composed. This is what I have prepared for. You know, I'm only back from Iceland. I had a whole 5 weeks to prepare for this circus that is fight week or fight month. You know what I mean? So I'm calm. There's nothing in my head except right now in my head. Probably food is in my head right now, yeah, because I have like a chicken salad, like chicken, spinach, and I have like hot sauce on it, some eggs, some avocado. It's actually delicious, yeah. It's out in the cars. I'm gonna get that after this, yeah.
Okay. A quick throwaway question here: who would you like to play Conor McGregor in the Conor McGregor movie?
Oh wow, there's a question. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. That's a good question. Who would I like to play? I don't know. I'd have to put some thought into that, but that'd be sweet. A film. I mean, to be in a game is, that's next level stuff. You know, to see a video game character is the craziest thing that I've ever. It's one of the craziest things that's happened to me on this journey so far. You know what I mean? So, but I don't know. A movie character. Who knows?
Okay, so it's the notorious Conor McGregor. Is there a story behind the notorious, or did you just go for
yeah,
the same?
I don't know. They just my coach John just called. I was getting into trouble. You know, I was running out the door when it was time to pay the fees, so to speak. You know, so it just came notorious. And then one time, backstage when I was fighting, I came out to the song, the Notorious or something, and it just stuck. I don't know, it just stuck because I talk a lot. I get into a little bit of trouble. That's where it came from.
And you mentioned your walkout music there in Boston. The blackout walkout that you did got a huge reaction on YouTube and on our site. And I just want to know if you have any surprises planned for the O2.
Well, we'll see. You'll have to tune in July 19th and see. I believe it's going to be live on 3E, BT Sport in the UK, Setanta Ireland. Who else has been showing it? UFC Fight Pass, Fox in America. They're all showing it. So tune in and you will see. But I'm definitely looking to do something, all right.
You talked with our colleagues last year in a quick interview, and you said that before your MMA journey really took off, you had a quick stint as a plumber.
Yeah.
Now, what I'd love to know is, does Conor McGregor ever get a call off his mates asking him to help him out when there's a problem with the drainage, or is that firmly something in the past?
Nah, see, I was working on an industrial site, so I wouldn't really know too much about domestic, but I was just the guy making the tea. You know, that was the stage I was at in my plumbing career. But I got out of there and now I'm doing this. But